Welcome, everyone. I never thought a book could change anything. Not my mood. Not my day. And definitely not my life. But this is the story of how one book changed the way I see the world. And how it helped me understand myself too. I used to believe that reading was boring. Books felt like a waste of time. My classmates talked about novels they loved, characters they admired, quotes that made them cry. I didn't understand the excitement. Whenever I tried to read, my eyes would skip lines. My head would start to ache. I would check my phone. Or just fall asleep. I thought, maybe books just are not for me. Teachers always told us that reading was important. But when something feels like a chore, it is hard to enjoy it. I was more interested in music, games, and funny videos. Stories felt too slow. Too quiet. Too serious. Then one day, everything changed. Completely by accident. It was a rainy Thursday afternoon. The kind of rain that makes the sky gray and the air feel heavy. I was picking up my younger sister from her school. She had an after-school club, and I arrived too early. I didn't want to sit in the car for 40 minutes, but the rain was too heavy to go anywhere else. So I stayed. I checked my phone. The battery was almost dead. I had already watched everything I wanted that day. I looked around, bored and frustrated. Then I opened the glove box in front of the passenger seat, hoping to find something, anything, to kill time. Inside, there was only one thing. A small paperback book. The cover showed a tree, a bench, and a boy sitting alone. The title was The Boy Who Listened to the Wind. I had never heard of it. There was no summary on the back, no famous author's name. Just a plain book that looked like it had been sitting there for years. I sighed. I had nothing else to do. So I opened it. The first page surprised me. The words were simple. The sentences were short. But it didn't feel childish. It felt calm. It told the story of a quiet boy who didn't talk much, but listened to everything. The wind in the trees. The songs of birds. The sound of people's footsteps. He noticed things others missed. While others talked, he observed. I kept reading. And before I realized it, I had read 3 chapters. When my sister got into the car, I didn't even hear her open the door. "You're reading?" she asked. "I guess I am," I said, still looking at the page. That night, I brought the book to my room and read more. I stayed up later than usual. I didn't feel tired. I felt peaceful. Like the world had slowed down. Like I was listening too. After I finished the book, I just sat in bed and thought. It wasn't full of action or drama. But it touched something in me. The boy in the book made me realize how loud life had become. How much noise we create every day. And how little we truly notice. I looked around my room. The soft hum of the fan. The sound of rain tapping on the window. The shadows of tree branches moving outside. I had seen this room 1,000 times, but it suddenly felt new. The next morning, at breakfast, I didn't scroll through my phone. I just listened. My father always hummed while making coffee. My mother liked to talk to the plants on the windowsill. My sister clicked her spoon against her bowl 3 times before eating. These were things I had never noticed before. And I liked noticing. Over the next few weeks, I carried that book in my bag. I reread parts of it during quiet moments. On the bus. In waiting rooms. Before bed. And something strange started happening. I began writing things down. Not stories. Just short thoughts. Small things I noticed each day. A dog with one ear up and one ear down. A woman laughing while talking on the phone. The way the sky changed color in the evening. It felt good. Like I was seeing the world more clearly. One day, during lunch, my English teacher, Mr. Anderson, saw me writing in my notebook. He walked over and asked, Are you working on something interesting? I laughed. Not really. Just writing what I see. Can I read a little? He asked. I hesitated. But then I nodded. He read a few lines quietly, then looked at me. You have a writer's eye, he said. I shook my head. I used to hate reading. That makes it more powerful, he said. You've changed. And that change is in your words. Later that week, he asked if I would read something to the class. I panicked. Why me? Because your voice is honest, he said. And people need to hear it. I almost said no. I didn't want attention. I wasn't the kind of student who stood at the front of the class. But something inside me whispered, just try. So I tried. I read a short piece I had written about a street musician I saw outside the supermarket. He was playing an old guitar, eyes closed, lost in his music. His case was full of coins, but he looked like he was playing for the clouds above, not for the people walking by. I had written about how the sound made the street feel softer, even for just a moment. When I finished, the room was quiet. Then one student clapped. Then another. Even the ones who usually rolled their eyes at everything gave me a small nod. After class, a girl came up to me and said, "That was really beautiful." It meant more than she probably knew. I kept writing. Every day, I wrote a few lines. Sometimes a full page. Some days, just a sentence. It became a habit. A way to slow down and listen. The next month, Mr. Anderson told me about a local writing contest, but I didn't plan to enter. I wasn't confident enough. But one night, I decided to send one of my pieces anyway. A short story about an old man who danced alone in the park every Sunday. I had seen him once, years ago, and never forgot it. A month later, I got an email. I had won second place. I stared at the screen in shock. Not because I didn't believe it, but because I remembered who I used to be. The person who hated books. The person who thought reading was useless. The person who never finished a single novel. And now I had written something that made people feel something. That tiny book in the glove box had changed my life. It didn't teach me how to be rich or famous. It didn't promise success. It just showed me a different way of seeing. A slower way. A softer way. A more honest way. Now, whenever I see someone who says reading is boring, I smile. Because I was that person once too. And sometimes, all it takes is the right book at the right time. Today, I still carry The Boy Who Listened to the Wind in my bag. Not because I need to read it again. It's because it reminds me that quiet things can be powerful. That small changes can lead to big ones. That the world is full of stories, if you just slow down and listen. If you liked it, kindly like, subscribe, comment, and share. Keep going, be kind to yourself, and see you again on Stories by the Window.